ready with us. Okay, I'm gonna hand her off to John and then we're gonna start this video. Hello, hi, and welcome back to my channel. It has been a cool minute since I've done a long form video, and I don't know, it's just been a lot easier doing these short form videos, and it's in now, so we haven't really sat down and done something like this. So today I'm gonna do a get ready with me while I answer some of your most asked questions. And I think you're gonna want to grab some popcorn because this is going to be a rather long video. Okay, let's start off makeup. My face is clean, nothing's on it. I know you're not used to seeing me with no makeup, but here I am in all my glory. We are gonna prime our face first, and I have been loving this Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. Gosh, I have totally forgot how to film a makeup tutorial. Priming our face. So what I like to do is I start off doing my eyebrows, then my eyes, and then I'll do like all the face makeup, foundation, concealer, bronzer, contour, all of that after, because most of the time when I do my eyeshadows, the eyeshadow will kind of fall off, and then I find it easier to just conceal all of that at the end for a flawless look. So I have like my little makeup bag in front of me. It's so funny because as you get older, you start to minimize how much makeup you put on, and I feel like this little thing was not how it used to be. I guess my routine hasn't changed much, except I've tried to make it a little bit easier to put on makeup, because now that I have 3 kids, like, it is ridiculous, guys. Like, I don't have a lot of time to get ready, so we want to do it quick and we want to look like we have slept through the night. Eyebrows, I don't have a lot going on, but we're gonna make it look like I have a lot going on. I have been using this NYX Brow Glue, and I find that this is a lot better than the ones that I used before. It's really tacky, so it keeps my eyebrows from moving. Brushing it back and then up. Alright, so I did say that I was going to answer some of the most asked questions that you guys asked me, mainly on my Instagram. I don't even know where to start, which question to really start with. I guess the first one would be if my oldest, Kennedy, the one with the curly hair, that's what people refer her to, is where does she come from? Is she my daughter? Yes, she is my daughter. She has curly hair, and it's so funny because I feel like if she didn't have curly hair, that people wouldn't really question if she was mine or not. But, you know, we do, and I get it all the time when I go out, all over social media. People ask, like, is she adopted? No, she's my daughter. Using this is Anastasia's brow pencil. I'm going to link all the products that I use in order down below, because I'm sure during this video I'm gonna forget to tell you guys what I'm doing because I'm talking, and I can't. I have an issue with like doing 2 things at once. I'm not a good multitasker. So this is Anastasia Pro Pencil. I think the color is base 1, but I use this to outline the bottom of my brows before I draw it in. It just makes it easier for me to kind of see what I'm doing, so I'm not over drawing and then it looks like, you know, Bert or Ernie. I don't know which one has the unibrow, but sometimes it can be like that. So we're gonna use this and outline the bottom of the brow. Okay, so back to what I was saying about Kennedy. People always ask, like, where is her biological father? And this subject always kind of makes me a little emotional, I guess, to talk about, so I don't really talk about it. Plus, for personal reasons, I don't share all of everything about my life on social media. I feel like it just opens a gateway for people to criticize everything that you're doing, or, okay, this is Okay, so this is Anastasia's Dipbrow Pomade in Granite. And this is what I'm going to use to draw it in. This is the Anastasia pencil, and this is in 7B. So before I start, I'm just going to put a little bit right here on my hand, and then I'm going to close it up, and this keeps it from drying out because this product tends to dry out if you don't close it as soon as possible. So this helps. So we're just going to use that much, okay? Plus, if you're using from this, I feel like you're putting so much more on versus just a little bit on your hand. Answering questions and doing a makeup tutorial both at the same time is really hard, guys. Okay, so starting from the outer corners, and then I'm gonna draw it in to make it look an ombre effect, you should say. Back to what I was saying about Kennedy. She's from a previous relationship, and this was before, obviously, I met John. And if the other question is her biological dad still active in her life? And no, he's not. And that is, when I say that is up to him, it means John and I have always had a open policy where you can be as involved as you want to be. We don't want to interfere with your relationship with your daughter, but that is also up to you. And it kind of breaks my heart, and this is where it gets a little bit messy, is that, you know, you can't force somebody to be a parent if they don't want to. And he doesn't really want to. He comes in and out of her life when he pleases, when it's most convenient for him, and then he makes excuses, and the only person he's hurting is his daughter. So we've come to the conclusion where we just can't protect her as much as we have been, because it's going to break her heart one day. And it's hard. It is hard to want your daughter to not feel like abandoned. And she's not, guys. Like, hold on, I gotta finish this. And Kennedy's fine. She's loved. John has been in her life since she was 2 years old, so to her, that's her father. He's never left her side. He takes her to all of her doctor's appointments. He shows up, and that's all you can really ask for when it comes to a parent, is that they show up and they care. And she's loved, she's happy, and she's fortunate, more fortunate than most kids who come from a broken home. So for that, I feel super grateful and appreciative, especially to John, because he treats her like his own. And I don't care what everybody says on social media about like how they think John doesn't love her as much. He loves her, guys. He treats her like his own daughter, and she loves him as well. So as you can tell, I look like I have the eyebrows now. Fill them in a little bit more. Okay, so another question. This is gonna be a long video. Another question I get asked is, how did John and I meet? Hold on, guys. I don't want to mess this up, because then my eyebrows will end up looking super funky. Okay, so I'm just gonna take a Q-tip and clean the bottom up, because you see where you can still see the line that I drew? I'm just gonna clean it up like this. And then take the spoolie part and brush it up right here. Wow, we just got super deep within the first like 5 minutes of this video. Okay, eyebrows are done. So the other question I get asked a lot is, how did John and I meet? We actually met in LA. I am originally from California, and he is from Illinois, which is where we're living right now until we moved to Florida. We met, he was a photographer. I was trying to be like a commercial model when I was young, and a lot younger than I am now without all these kids. And then we met up, shot, and kind of fell in love from then. Easy peasy, right? He actually slid in my DMs, and I flaked on him like 2 times. And I finally met up with him and I was like, well, this guy's pretty awesome. Now I have his kids. Okay, and then the other question is, why are we moving to Florida? And let me explain why. I'm gonna do my eyeshadow. I prime it with, okay, so now I am going to do my eyeshadow and I'm gonna prime it using my concealer. This is the most loved product, Tarte Shape Tape, and I will link the color below for you guys, but we're just gonna prime it so it's not discolored once we put eyeshadow on. I have to use this because I can't see. The camera is like all the way over there and it's hard for me to see what I'm doing. So I gotta use this, guys. John is he's gonna be so annoyed editing this get ready with me video because I feel like I'm talking all over the place. I swear to you, like, that's just how my brain works. Like, I can't pick a subject and speak on it. It's like all over the place. Okay, so we are moving to Florida because, well, we love Florida. We love Disney World. If you guys have been following me for a while, we got married in Disney World. We go almost every year, so it just makes sense to us. The weather is good. We don't like Illinois because it snows, like, it's cold 80% of the time. So Florida seems like a good place. We wouldn't move to California because it's just too expensive. I don't think the house that I would like to have, a forever home, would not work in California because we just can't afford it. Like, we can't afford a multi-million-dollar home. So yeah, that's why we're moving to Florida. And we are moving in, I think, like close to a month and a week, maybe. Nerve-wracking. Okay, this is Patrick Ta's eyeshadow palette. It's probably my most loved eyeshadow palette because of the neutral colors. I don't go too crazy with the eyeshadow because I am a mom and I can't be going out in blue eyeshadow meeting all the other parents. Okay, so this is the color that I'm using and this is gonna be the base. So I'm just gonna cover my whole lid with this color. Okay, before we move on to the next question, I'm actually gonna do some contouring for my eyes. So I'm gonna take this color, which is just in between the dark and the light, and I am going to just put it where my lids are. So start right here and swipe it in like that. Okay, so the next question is, am I going to have any more kids? And I think right now we're kind of leaning towards no, because I've had 3 C-sections, and the recent one with Leia, the doctor told John while he was performing the C-section that it's not a good idea because of all the scar tissue, that whoever goes in next for the 4th C-section is going to have a very difficult time. So it's possible it's just going to be a very dangerous procedure because of all the scar tissue. So because of that reason, we're leaning towards being done with kids, because 3 is a good number. 3 is good. We love our girls. But that doesn't mean that we won't, or that doesn't mean that there's always a possibility. That's what I'm saying. Okay, next I am going to take this shade, which is the darkest, and I'm just gonna outline the outer of my eyes, just so it looks a little bit more contoured. It'll all tie in at the end, okay? It looks a little bit funky. I always feel like when I'm doing my eyeshadow, my face looks a little bit funky, but once I'm done, the overall look it'll look nice. So I'm just gonna do it right here. Do you see? Other side. And then using a blending brush, I'm just gonna blend it in. Now I'm gonna curl my eyelashes. The next question is, who edits and films all our videos? And if you guys don't know this, I'm pretty surprised because, I mean, I've said this a bunch of times. It's John. He does it all. He helps set up, he films it, he edits it, he does all those crazy cool things that makes it look super cool. So John used to work, when he was in LA, he worked with Dietrich's. I don't know if you guys know him, he's from So You Think You Can Dance, but John worked with him, just mainly him, and he produced a lot of his, or he shot a lot of his videos, and that was how he was making a living in LA. So now John works for our family. Now he shoots all of our videos and pictures. He doesn't only do videography, he also is a photographer. I mean, that's how we met. That's why he's not in a lot of pictures, because most of the time he's the one taking our photos. I just wanted to make sure if I hit record, because that happens too often where I'm recording something and I realize that I didn't even hit the record button. Okay, I just need to talk about this mascara because it is possibly my most favorite, and I think it's because I have super straight Asian lashes, and every time I curl them, and every mascara I've used, it ends up falling down. It doesn't keep its curl, and this is the only mascara that keeps my curls curled. This is, I believe it's a Korean makeup brand. It's called Heroine Made, and it's their super waterproof volume up mascara in black. The thing with this is, if you're gonna buy this, you need to buy the remover, because once you put this on, it is so hard to take off. It is completely like waterproof. So you need to get, it comes in a little blue bottle, but it's a remover for this. And I have that and it works great. Okay, mascara time. Okay, the other question I get is about my bipolar. For you guys who are new here, I've been diagnosed with bipolar since I was a little girl, like 12 years old. And I get a lot of DMs throughout the day of like, how do I handle it? People asking me for advice. And most of the time I don't respond, or I give a very generic answer, and it's not because I don't want to help or like be a voice for people with mental illnesses, but I'm still trying to figure it out for myself. Like I get asked like, how do I get through the day? And I really can't answer that, because most days it's really hard and I'm still figuring it out. Like, am I medicated? Yes. Does the medication always work? No. So I have a lot of up and downs. If you don't know what bipolar is, it is when your moods are up and down. And I'm not talking about like up and down like you're PMSing and sometimes you get sad and sometimes you're okay. I'm talking about like super low depression where it feels like you're in the twilight zone, and then super high anxiety, manic episodes where you're like super spontaneous and not thinking clearly. That's the only way I can explain it. John's gonna edit this video and he's gonna be like, you're talking too much about our personal stuff. But I feel like I've come to the point where I just kind of want to put it out there. Have a video where I'm explaining things a little bit better. I just need to, for my own sanity. See, John is the person who he doesn't believe everything should be shared on social media, which I completely agree with him. That's why you don't see a lot of personal things about us. Like, I don't share a lot of my stories throughout the day because, first of all, it's really hard for me. I can't multitask very well, so it's either I'm being present with the girls or I'm doing a story, and I can't do both, so I choose my kids. But like, really props to all the influencers who have multiple kids who can do this stuff with a breeze, because I can't. Doing makeup right now is taking so much longer. Usually I can go through this in like less than 30 minutes and be done with it, but since I'm talking so much, this is taking longer. Which is why I was like, grab some popcorn, because this is gonna be a long video. We're on the eyeliner portion of this. This is where I need to concentrate. This is Stila Stay All Day Waterproof Liquid Eyeliner. I've been using this for decades. It is the only thing I will use, because most liquid eyeliner, I feel like it just smears throughout the day. This one literally stays all day. And then this, I wanted to say this is in the micro tip. It's a felt pen, but it's smaller, so you can get really close to your eyeline, waterline, which is what I want to do. So with eyeliner, I'm going to do the winged, and then I'm going to get really close my waterline, and I'm going to do my waterline. So I'm drawing the wing first because that's important. I almost have to hold my breath every time I do this. Okay, the wing. I'm going to do the other side. I'm just making sure that the camera can see it. I am so bad with like body awareness sometimes because it's so funny because I take pictures and do these videos, but yet I am so bad at body awareness. Now we're gonna do the waterline. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm just getting really close. I'm drawing a very fine line on top of my eyelash line, and then once I'm done with that, I'm gonna take, it's still the Stila Stay All Day waterproof one, but this is in dark brown. And then I'm gonna use this dark brown and line the top. I started doing this and it just gives your eyeliner a more natural look compared to like a very intense black cat eye. So I like this a lot. Alright, looks good. I am going to step away, do the other eye, and then come back and answer some more questions because this is really hard with this mirror. Okay, be right back. I am back. So this is the final eyeliner look. Moving on. Now we're gonna start on the face. This is the foundation I use. This is from a brand called Saint. I think I'm saying that correctly. And this color is in Candlelight. So I've tried a lot of foundation in my lifetime and it seems like I can't get the right color, and this is the only brand that I actually really love because the color is just on the spot when it comes to my skin, right? So it's a cream foundation. It's really small and you don't need a lot. So here's what I do on my fingers. All over. To blend it all in, I'm using this Artiste brush. This is my favorite brush for foundation because it blends it in really well. I've tried a lot of brushes. I've tried beauty blenders, and I feel like with foundation, cream foundation especially, this brush is like, I love it. It blends so well. So that's what we're gonna do. Take this and you're just gonna do little circles all over. I'm actually gonna shoot a selfie baby Leia. That's why I'm doing my makeup right now. But days where I'm not shooting anything, I don't really wear foundation. I'll just put concealer under my eyes and that's about it. But when I'm shooting, this is the makeup that I do if I'm gonna take a picture or go out. Back to what I was saying about being bipolar and not talking a lot about it on social media is because I just don't think like I'm the right person to give advice about something. I mean, I can speak from personal experience, but I really feel like for those of you who've asked me what to do to help, I really feel like a professional is your best bet to getting the help that you need. Like I said, up and down with my bipolar. Some days, most days is really bad, but then I have like a few really good days. Medicated, yes. Have I always been medicated? No. I hate medication. I don't like taking medication at all, but I do it because for my family. The only advice I could give somebody who has bipolar is take your medication consistently, find somebody to talk to, a professional, like a therapist. Keep a routine, have a routine, like write things down. Those things have helped me tremendously. Don't always think there's something wrong with you. Like it took me 33 years for me to realize that every time I make an excuse of like, oh well, you know, I'm bipolar. Like, I would say that to John, like when we argue about things, I'm like, well, I'm bipolar, that's just how I think. I think what helped me was to stop saying that and just treat myself as if I was okay. Like, I shouldn't feel, it doesn't define you. Like you have to look at the more positive note of it. You're bipolar. but it doesn't prevent you from living a life that you want to. You just have to get above it. Like, you have to get out of your mind. You have to think about the good things in your life and help yourself. When I'm in a bad depression or bad episode, I feel like the thing that always I have to tell myself is that it's not worth it. Like, I try to do other things. I'll take a cold shower. I'll put on the show that I like. You can't dwell in the depression or it just eats you up. That's been my biggest downfall, is when I'm sad, I want to be alone. I want to isolate. Instead of doing that, doing the opposite have always helped me. So now I try to get into my head that I have to do the opposite of what I want to do, which is isolate. It's truly a battle in your head. You just have to help the better part of you win. I don't know if I explained that. I hope that helped. Getting emotional over here. Okay, foundation is done. Moving on to concealer. The same thing that we used to prime our eyelids. Now I'm going to this under. Oh, can't even see what I'm doing. There. And to blend this all in, I'm gonna use a beauty blender. Another question I get asked a lot is, why do you force your kids to be in these videos? I actually don't force them. They do enjoy being in this video. In times when they don't, we don't shoot it. It seems like we shoot every day, but in reality, I probably shoot only once or twice a week, and that is catered around like my kids' schedule. Like, they have swim and ballet, so we know there's only certain days that we can actually shoot content. But that's my whole thing, is we don't shoot as often as you guys think we do. No, it's not something I'm trying to keep it at a level where the girls enjoy it. As soon as I start forcing them every day to shoot, I know that that's for kids, you know? That's gonna be something they're going to hate doing. We don't want it to get to that level, so you gotta keep it fun with kids, especially with shooting with kids. Even with adults, the less it feels like work, the more you would want to do it. But wait, is that something good to say? I need to set my concealer. So I'm gonna use Laura Mercier's translucent powder. I've been using this for a very long time and I haven't switched. With me and makeup products, if it works, it works. And I don't really switch a lot of products unless there's something I really want to try out. But I always stick to what works. And I feel like that's an all-around thing in my life. Like, even with hair products, right? If it works, it works. I don't think people do this anymore, but I still bake my under eye. Just because I get super oily, and if I don't, I know it's gonna look really bad throughout the day. Next is contour, and this is Charlotte Tilbury's contour wand. I've been using this, love it. Probably one of the best contour, bronzer, however you want to use it. I like how well it blends in and it doesn't give you like that fake orangey look, if you know what I mean. The only thing I don't like about this is the applicator. Not so much the applicator, but the fact that this part gets dirty and then it gets all over your hands once you need to like add more to it, because you have to twist it in order for the product to come out and then close it after. Oh. And sometimes it gets a little bit messy. So I put some on the tip and then now I'm closing it. And my hands are, ooh, what am I gonna do? 2 dots up here, 3 right there, and at the bottom to contour my chin. I'm using Patrick Ta's contour brush. This thing, everybody needs it. If you don't know how to contour, buy this brush because it's like for dummies. It makes it so easy and it doesn't overdo it. So it looks like this. We're just going to, in this motion, bring it up, swipe it up. I cannot see. I really need this little mirror here. Okay, I'm trying to think of any other questions that I get asked a lot. Let me just finish the contour and then I'll answer another question that I think you guys have asked me. Okay, all right, for the nose contour, this is the new Patrick Ta's brush. It's primarily for nose contouring. The brush looks like this, and this has made it so easy for me to contour my nose because sometimes I feel like I'm not doing it correctly. Makes it a piece of cake. So I'm gonna use this side. And then the other side to blend it all in. Okay, and all you beauty gurus, do not at me because I am not a professional makeup artist. This is just how I do my makeup. So if I'm doing anything wrong, just comment below. Okay, and then sometimes I'll just take a beauty blender because that helps it blend it in a little bit better. Sometimes I'm not even sure if nose contouring, what I do, even works at all for me, but I would like to believe it does. Let's go ahead and do some blush. This is the Charlotte Tilbury's matte blush wand, and this is in the Pink Pop. Okay. Ah, that's way too much. Okay, 2 dots right there. 2 dots on the other side. We don't want to go overboard. This is Patrick Ta's blush brush. As you can tell, I love everything he has. Okay, and we're just gonna blend it up like that. The leftovers, I'll just brush it on my nose. I forgot a step. Mascara on my bottom lashes. I'm just gonna do that right now. For the under eye, I'm just gonna grab a little bit of the dark shade and I'm just gonna put a little bit right here to darken it. I feel like I make the weirdest face when I do makeup. Totally forgot I was supposed to be answering questions. Okay, another question that I always get is my hair real? And yes, it is real. I just have lots of hair. It's genetics, but I also think it's because I take biotin regularly. I'm like one of those people who believe in taking care of yourself from the inside out, like kind of thing. So biotin, I think, has really helped me. And another question is, how does Jayla have such long hair? We've never actually cut her hair. That's her hair, like since she was a baby. The ends are her baby hair. And we're gonna cut it soon. We're actually waiting for when we go to Disney World. They have like a barber shop there that has like this magical experience for kids. So we're gonna have her first haircut there. Kennedy I've trimmed because it does get tangled, so I will trim it myself. For Jayla, we're gonna do it there. She's very sentimental. People always ask me too. This is the other thing. It's not really an ask. People always make comments like, does she even like long hair? Is she uncomfortable? Like, but it's really sentimental to her. Her hair is really sentimental part of her. And it is for John too. Like, he'll start crying if you talk about cutting her hair. So for both of them, this is gonna be like a very precious moment, but she only wants like a little trim. She has clarified with us, like she does not want us to cut her hair short. So we're gonna keep it long, but we're gonna get a little trim for her. I believe that's like all the questions or the most asked questions that people have asked me. But then if there's anything that comes up, feel free to leave a comment below and then maybe I'll just make another one of these and answer some more of your questions. And most of these questions come from Instagram, which is, you know, my primary social media. That's where I am most of the time before this YouTube thing. This is NYX Jumbo Stick in Milk. I believe that's the color. You've seen this all over TikTok. I love it too. It is very useful in so many ways. I use this as the highlighter for my nose. Oh shoot, I totally messed that up. A little dot. And we're gonna do a little line. We are gonna underline the bottom of our eyes. And then we're gonna do the inner corners. And I feel like this really wakes your eyes up. Using your fingers, just blend it all in. And then gonna do under the brows. Looks pretty good. And then I'm just gonna go in with, this is not how it looks when you buy it. This is Benefit's Cookie Highlighter, my favorite. It broke, and then I was able to get this little piece out, but using a beauty blender, oops, the tip of it, I'm just gonna grab a little bit right here. Actually, I'm just gonna use my fingers. So taking this highlighter, I'm gonna do the inner corners of our eyes again. And this is, I feel like this just makes it pop a little bit more. And then the nose. Toot toot. We're almost done, I swear. Promise you. So for the lips, I have two of my favorite products. This is NYX Lip Pencil in the color Nude Beige. One of my favorites. And then this is YSL's the Lip Stain. This is in color, gosh, I can't even read this. 7. Number 7. I'll link it below again. I really want to explain this because I've seen so many of you guys do this wrong. And I think this is going to be helpful. Okay, when you're lining your lips, you don't want to overline it too much. What you're going to do is line the top right here, the bottom. Let me do it and then I'll show you. See. So if you overline the top, right, just this part here, and then overline just this bottom here, and then you're gonna just bring it in, line your lips in its natural line. Okay, follow the natural line. Now we are gonna use this lip stain. We're gonna put lashes on, which I forgot to bring to this area. So I will be right back. I'm gonna go grab it, and that's the last thing, I promise. I'm gonna put on lashes. And normally I don't wear false lashes unless I'm shooting something, which today I am. For the lashes, this is my favorite lash brand. I've been wearing them for years, and I like it a lot. It's called Velour. And they have like an effortless collection where you don't need to trim it. It's like super natural looking lashes, not too heavy. This is, and you can reuse them like 10 times depending on how well you clean them afterwards. But this is the lashes that I'm using from Velour, and with their glue. Suddenly out of breath because I had to run and grab these lashes. Okay. We're almost ending here. I'm trying to think if there's one more question I can answer for you guys. Oh, so I did do a poll on my Instagram stories the other day of like what videos do you guys want to see more of, long form, and you said family vlogs, which I was very surprised because that takes a little bit more energy and effort on my end. I love filming vlogs, but John will be the first to tell you that I am horrible when we are out in public and I'm holding a camera and I'm trying to talk to the camera. I feel so uncomfortable. It's like not a natural thing for me. So it does take a little bit of practicing for me to like actually feel comfortable. But yeah, I agree. I do love family vlogs. It's a lot. It's the process of having to, you know, be present with your kids wherever we are, taking care of them, and then on top of that, you got to remember that you are vlogging this experience. So I really want to say, like, to all of you guys who do long form content, it's very hard. It is a lot more work goes into it, which I really hope that long form will come back though, because it is a lot more educational. Like, I watch other people's vlogs and I watch long makeup tutorials. For me, like, short form makeup tutorials are so hard to follow unless it's like really well done. But every time I watch a tutorial, like hair or makeup short form, it's so hard for me to like kind of keep up. With long form, it's a little bit easier because I like the extra explanation of things. I'm just that type of person. I need to understand. Like, I can't understand what you're doing. I don't understand the short form vlog. I mean, I like it, I watch it, but I don't know what's going on. It's too fast for me. I need to slow down a little bit. My brain can't properly function everything that's going on. Which is why we don't do short form vlog. I mean, we probably will. It's easier to do long form vlogs, and then John will just cut it down to a short form. Ah. Ugh. 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 I tell you guys, lashes make such a huge difference. Oh, another question about Jayla falling asleep. That's always the other question, right? So yeah, Jayla will fall asleep randomly. It's not that she doesn't sleep, it's just like when she was younger. She doesn't do it as much as now that she's older, but when she was younger, she still gets her whatever kids minimum sleep time is. It's just that like she'll just like falling, like having naps throughout the house. But everyone was so concerned about her having cancer or something terminal, but it's not that. Because if it was, you guys, I swear to you, John and I would notice and we would take her to the doctor. We're very proactive parents, whereas if there's something wrong with our kids, we will be the first to be like, hey, they need to go to the doctor like right now. That's just, we've always been like that. And then with Kennedy, a lot of you guys are like pointing out that she has a lot of bruising in the videos. So she has something called, I don't remember, what is it called? It's not coming to me, but I've said it multiple times. It is a condition where she will bruise very easily. That's just how it is. Like, it's a medical condition. Before you guys think that, oh my gosh, are they beating up their kids? No, we're not. It's so funny. Social media is such a hard space to be in sometimes, because even with baby Leia, she has Mongolian spots, and it's typical for like Asian babies to have those. It's just like dark spots that look a little bit like bruising, but she has it. She's had it since she was born, and it's all over her butt and her legs. And so many people were like telling me that I was like abusing her through my DMs, and I'm like, no, this is what it is. Anytime when you guys are on my Instagram and I'm like sharing stories and explaining something, and I know a lot of you guys are like, you don't have to explain yourself, you're a good mom. I explain it because I get a lot of messages about one thing that I just want to clear the air, so like there's not any more of the messages asking me the same questions. Just like how I'm doing this video explaining things and answering questions, I would hope that like people would watch this and be like, oh, okay, that explains it. But who knows? It's probably gonna end up being like a bunch more people asking the same questions. This is our final look. And this is the makeup that I do every time we shoot. So I'll add a little bit more here and there of other things, but this is it. I hope you guys found this video somewhat useful, helpful. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. If you watched this entire thing, bless you, because you are incredible. This is a long video, and I don't think people's attention span can last this long sometimes. I'm trying to remember how I used to do this. It's been so long. Okay, give me a thumbs up, hit the like button, and comment below if you have any other questions. I will put the products below in the description, but if you have any other questions about the color that I'm using or anything else in this video, comment below. And once again, thanks for watching, guys.